Hello students, I'm Dr. Vishwanath Ganwat from Yeshwantrao Chauhan Institute of Science, Satara. I am starting inorganic chemistry paper in which we are going to start first unit metal ligand bonding. Okay. In this unit, we are going to see content like crystal field theory. Then after that, splitting of d orbital for different complexes. These 2 points we will cover today. Then we are going to see CFSE, tetragonal distortion from octahedral symmetry, John Taylor effect, nucleostatic effect, CFSE and their uses, factors affecting that CFSE, limitations of CFT, and at last molecular orbital theory. Okay. Now we will start crystal field theory. Okay. Why scientists put forward this theory? What is the reason? The most important reason, it is a limitation of VBT. Okay, first scientists put forward VBT, but the VBT have some limitations, and to clear that limitations, scientists have put forth crystal field theory. Okay, what are the limitations we have seen last year? Okay, now we are going to start introduction of that crystal field theory. See, I have shown these complexes, and these all complexes, these are of cobalt complexes. Okay, see, but number ligands, these are the different. Okay, ligands are different, but see their colors. Okay, these are the colors. The change in ligand, there is a change in color. Okay, change in geometry, also there is change in color. Okay, now what is the reason behind this? What will be the reason? The reason is same, it is due to crystal field theory. All this is happening due to the spectral properties. Okay, spectral properties means coloring properties. Okay, that coloring properties we have not seen in VBT. These properties we will see in this crystal field theory. Okay, this theory was first put forth by scientists H. Beth and John Van Vleck. Okay, these are the two scientists. And then scientist Orgel, he extended to different metal complexes. Okay, this theory, it describes the effect of attraction between positive charge of metal, means metal atom or ion. If it is ion, then it will contain positive charge, and another one, it is negatively charged ligands. Negatively charged ligands. Now your question, it will be like, what is happening for neutral ligands? Okay, we are going to see. Okay, another next question, what is happening for neutral metal? How it will be contain charge? We are going to see. Okay, these are the two important cases, metal cation and ligand. Okay, now this theory, it is used to rationalize the spectroscopic and magnetic properties. Okay, spectroscopic means we have seen color, different colors. Same central metal, it is a cobalt, but it shows different colors due to spectroscopic properties. And magnetic property like diamagnetic, paramagnetic, ferromagnetic. Okay, all are different properties we are going to see next. Okay. Now, assumptions of this CFT. Assumptions of this CFT. Okay. We will see one by one. First assumption, CFT, it assumes that bond between ligand and the central metal atom or ion, it is purely ionic in nature. Okay, purely ionic in nature. Now, what is meant by ionic? In some cases, it is also called as electrostatic in nature. Ionic, or see here, electrostatic in nature. Means there will be two charges. One is positive and another one is negative, and we all know there will be attraction in between positive and negative charge. And what if there are two similar charges like positive charge? There will be repulsion. Also negative charge, there will be repulsion. Okay. Next assumption. In coordination compounds, the central metal atom or ion and the ligands, these are considered as point charges or electric dipoles. Okay, this is the reason. Point charges when both in both cases have positive and negative charge, and if there is a no charge like only metal atom or for neutral ligand, in that case there will be electrical dipoles. Next assumption. The isolated metal atom possess 5 degenerate d orbitals. Okay, degenerate means they have same energy. Okay, degenerate means they have same energy. We are going to see different shapes of that d orbitals. Okay. Next, between the metal atom and the ligand, there will be only electrostatic interaction. There will be electrostatic interaction means one it contains positive charge, another one it contains negative charge, and there will be electrostatic interaction. Electrostatic interaction. Okay. Due to that interaction between that metal atom or ion and ligand, the degeneracy of d orbitals takes place. Degeneracy means same energy. The d orbitals, they have same energy, and that energy will be differentiate, means one it will have higher in energy, another one it will get lower in energy. Okay. Now next we are going to see different shapes of these d orbitals. Clear? Okay. Now see the shapes carefully. These are the three axes: x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. This is our first orbit, and it is dxy orbit. Okay, dxy orbit. Okay, now in this orbit, this is the x-axis, and this one it is a y-axis. Okay, see what happens. It is a three-dimensional figure. What happens? The lobes of this dxy, it is arises in between x and y axis. Okay, lobe it is arises in between x and y axis. Another one it is dyz orbit, and third one it is dxz. Okay, see, same cases, same happening. Okay, this is y and this is z axis. This is x-axis, this is z-axis. Okay, the important is the lobes of these orbits, these are arises in between the axis, and all these three orbits, these are known as T2G orbits. These are known as T2G orbits. Okay, now we are going to see the EG orbits. Okay, these are also two, total 5 orbits. We have seen 3. Next 2, these are the 2. First one it is dx square y square, and another one it is dz square orbit. Okay, now see what happens in this orbit. These are the axes. Now see carefully. It is x-axis and y-axis. See what happens. The lobes of these axes, these are arises on the axis. See the axis and their lobes. The lobes, these are present on the axis. And last one it is dz square. Okay, its lobes, it is arises on the z-axis. Okay, all these two orbits, these are known as EG orbits. Okay, and total these are the 5d orbitals: dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square, and dz square. Okay, that was the three-dimensional figures. These are the two-dimensional. We can draw it on our page. See dxy, x-axis, y-axis, dxz, dyz, x square minus y square, and dz square. First three are T2G, which contains their lobes in between the axis, and last two, these contains their lobes on the axis. Okay, now we are going to see our most important point, splitting of d orbitals of these are geometry or complexes. From that, we are going to start our first complex and it is octahedral. Okay, we all know the geometry of octahedral complex. See, this is the geometry. Okay, it contains central metal atom or ion and 6 ligands, and these 6 ligands are approaching. Okay, these are the ligands and these are the d orbital of metal atom or ion. In octahedral case, see what happens. In octahedral case, the ligands, these are approaching along the axis. See carefully. These are the three axes, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay, and the ligands, they are approaching along the axis. See carefully. 6 ligands, and these are approaching along the axis. Okay. Now see carefully what happens. This is a central d orbital of metal atom or ion. Okay, d orbitals, we have seen different shapes of that d orbitals. Okay, now there will be interaction in between electrons of ligands as well as electrons of central metal atom or ion. What will happen? We have seen in this theory, there will be completely electrostatic interaction. Means electrons, they have negative charge of ligand. Electrons of central metal, they also have negative charge. Means there will be repulsion in between electrons of ligand and electrons of metal atom or ion. Okay, now we will see one by one. Okay, see first T2G orbits. These are the three orbits we have seen: dxy, dyz, and dxz. Okay, and that yellow color. Okay, I will show you. Okay, this is the yellow color. These are the ligands. Okay, see how many ligands? 6 ligands, and these are approaching for only 3 orbits. Huh? First, we are going to see T2G orbits. T2G orbits, these are present in between the axes. Okay, now what will happen? There is a space in between these two lobes. Can you see? Okay, this is the space. This is space. This is also space, space, space. Okay, and in between that space, ligands are approaching. Means which kind of there will be interaction? There will be repulsion or attraction. The electrons of ligands, they got space now. Means there will be less repulsion. There will be less repulsion. Now, which will show repulsion? We will see. Okay, this is the another group. It is a EG orbits. Okay, now see carefully what is happening. The lobes of this EG, these are present on the axis and ligands are also approaching on the axis. Now in this case, what will happen? There will be repulsion in between electrons of ligand as well as electrons of central metal atom or ion. Now, due to this repulsion, what will happen? There will be increase in energy. Okay, that increase, decrease we will see in next slide. Okay, what is the concept? We all know now. These are the T2G orbits. Okay, and these are the EG orbit and their interaction. Okay, now we will see the splitting of the orbital in octahedral complex. This is our octahedral complex in which ligands are approaching along the axis. Okay, and at the central, that pink color, okay, there is our central metal atom or ion which contains also electrons. Okay, this is the energy level. Okay, see what happens? Energy level, it is increasing. Okay, energy level, it is increasing. First, these are the d orbitals in free ion. Means they are degenerate. Now see, degenerate carefully. All these 5 orbits, they have same energy. Means they are placed on same line. They have equal energy. Okay, how many orbits? 5 orbits: dxy, yz, xz, dx square minus y square, and dz square. Okay, all these are in same energy state. Okay, Due to approaching ligands, what will happen? There will be increase in energy. See carefully. Average energy of d orbitals in spherical crystal field means now ligands are approaching. Due to that approaching ligands, the energy of that d orbitals increase. Okay. And due to that, there will be splitting of d orbitals. Why there is splitting of d orbital? Because of interaction in between electrons of ligand and electrons of central metal. See, listen carefully. Interaction between electrons of ligand and electrons of central metal. Okay, these are approaching. We have seen different shapes. Now, what will happen? We have seen in T2G, their lobes, these are present in between the axis. Means what happen? There will be no repulsion, and due to that less repulsion or no repulsion, they shows decreased energy. See, and for EG, their lobes, these are present on the axis. Ligands are approaching along the axis. Therefore, there will be more repulsion. Due to that repulsion, their energy it will be increased. Now see carefully. What is the decrease in energy? It is minus 2 by 5. That minus sign due to decrease in energy. For EG, there is a plus sign, plus 3 by 5. Plus sign it is for increased energy. Okay. Total it is a delta O. Delta O for energy and O for octahedral complex. We are going to see different complexes. Okay. This is the simple splitting of d orbital in octahedral complex. Listen carefully. I am telling one more time. Okay. First, what happens? All d orbitals they are degenerate. All d orbitals they are degenerate means they have similar energy. Okay. Due to approaching ligands, what happens? Their energy increased. Their energy increased, and due to more interaction in between ligand and orbits of central atom. Okay, how many orbits? 5 orbits, which contains two groups, T2G and EG. The T2G, here T2G, their lobes, these are present in between the axes. Ligands are approaching along the axis, therefore their energy decreased, and they comes to this energy level. And for EG, what happens? Their lobes, these are present along the axis. Ligands are approaching along the axis. Due to that, there will be repulsion in between electrons of ligand and electrons of central metal. Therefore, what happens? Their energy get increased. Okay? This is the simple splitting of d orbitals in octahedral complex. Okay? Next, we will start splitting of d orbital in tetrahedral complex. Okay. This is the geometry of tetrahedral complex. Okay, for tetrahedral complex, coordination number it is 4, means it contains 4 ligands. And this is the most important point. See what happens. In octahedral complex, ligands are approached along the axis, but in tetrahedral complex, see what happens. What is happening? These ligands, these are approaching in between the axis. This is the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and these ligands are approaching in between the axes, like here, or simply along the alternate corner of cube. Along the alternate corner of cube. See, this is the cube dotted, and I have selected alternate corners, and from that alternate corners that ligands are approaching, and these corners are situated in between the axis. Okay, now see what happens. We all know the shapes of different orbitals, d orbitals. Okay, ligands are approaching in between the axis. Okay, these are the shapes. Okay, now what will happen? Now you can tell me. What will happen? First, it is T2G orbits in which ligands, sorry, lobes, these are present in between the axis. These are the axis. Okay, ligands are also approaching in between the axis, means they will experience more repulsion. Okay, these are the axes. Okay, another one, EG orbits, their lobes, these are present along the axis. Ligands are approaching in between the axis, means EG group, they will experience less repulsion. Okay, they will experience less repulsion. Now what will happen? We are directly going to the energy level. Okay, this is the energy geometry. First, it is d orbitals in degenerate state, means they have equal energy, same energy. Okay, due to approaching ligands, the energy it is increased. Okay, and due to interaction, there will be splitting. Now tell me which group will show higher energy and which group will show lower energy. Of course, ligands are approaching in between the axis, means the orbits which have their orbits in between the axis, they will experience more repulsion and their energy will increase, and that group it is T2G. Okay, see, dxy, dyz and dxz. Okay, they will experience more repulsion, therefore their energy it will be increased by 2 by 5, means plus 0.4 do. Here it is shown do. Sorry, there will be dt for tetrahedral complex. Okay, and the EG, they will experience less repulsion. Due to that, their energy it will be decreased. Okay, in tetrahedral complex, there is no plane of symmetry or axis of symmetry. Due to that, G notation it will be expelled, means T2G, instead of T2G we are going to see tell only T2. Instead of EG we are just saying E. Okay, this is a simple splitting of d orbital in tetrahedral complex. Okay, I'm telling one more time. See, first it is tetrahedral complex, means 4 ligands are approaching to central metal. These are approaching in between the axis. Okay, first what happens? First, d orbits, these are degenerate, means they have same energy. Due to approaching ligands, their energy it will increase, and then after there will be interaction in between electrons of ligand and electrons of central metal. There will be splitting. Okay, how it comes splitting? Ligands are approaching in between the axis, means the orbits which are present in between the axis, means T2, they will experience more repulsion, means their energy it will be increased, and the orbits which are present along the axis, they will experience less repulsion, therefore their energy is decreased. Okay, we are going to see different examples on this splitting. Okay, today we will stop here. Next lecture we will see different complexes. Okay, thank you.